For years, the story didn't arrive all at once. It appeared in fragments, quiet, disconnected moments that never quite formed a headline, yet never fully disappeared either. A yacht glimpsed off the Mediterranean coastline, whispers of diamonds quietly removed from royal circulation, absent from any formal legend. And then there was the silence, an absence of response from Riyadh that felt heavier than denial and more deliberate than coincidence. In London, the rumors lingered, passed not through microphones but through private rooms, raised eyebrows, and carefully chosen pauses. For a long time, nothing was confirmed, nothing was denied. And then, according to multiple diplomatic sources, something changed. The silence didn't break publicly. There was no press conference, no official rebuttal, no statement drafted for headlines. Instead, it surfaced where power most often speaks, in a controlled conversation, measured and contained, never intended to leave the room. Because when influence chooses quiet over noise, it is rarely accidental. The first trace appeared in a private briefing memo dated late August 2015. It wasn't written by a reporter chasing a story. It came from a London-based security consultancy, a firm contracted to conduct background diligence on social and professional networks connected to senior public figures. Their job was not scandal. Their job was uncertainty. The memo made no accusations. It did something far more subtle and far more consequential. It flagged a single line: unverified time spent aboard a privately chartered yacht operating between Monaco and the Italian coast. At the time, the name Meghan Markle carried no royal gravity. She was not yet part of the institution. She was known within industry circles as an actress with rising visibility, someone comfortable moving through high-net-worth social environments. That distinction mattered. For working royals, and those adjacent to them, background checks are designed to eliminate ambiguity, not respond to controversy. In that system, even the smallest gap becomes a concern. Nothing was stated directly. Everything was implied. There were no formal allegations. The yacht itself was never named in writing. That omission was intentional. Maritime registries linked the vessel indirectly to Gulf-based holding companies, layered through complex ownership structures. Nothing illegal, nothing traceable. Just enough opacity to unsettle palace staff trained to assume risk wherever clarity is absent. Inside Kensington Palace, the file landed quietly. It reached the desk of a senior private secretary responsible for early-stage diligence. The response was calm, procedural, and firm. Verify the timeline, identify witnesses, close the gap. Weeks passed, no corroboration surfaced, no photographs, no invoices, no confirmed passenger manifests, no documentation that could be verified without cooperation from foreign entities. Under normal circumstances, that might have ended the matter. But this was not a normal circumstance. Instead of closing, the story might. By early September, the rumor had split the palace internally. Two factions emerged. The first group, largely younger aides and external advisors, dismissed the concern as social exaggeration. Wealthy circles overlap. Yachts host dozens of guests. Presence does not imply patronage. They urge discretion, warning against inflating gossip into consequence. The second group saw it differently. These were career courtiers, intelligence veterans, and security professionals. They had seen how unverified narratives metastasize once someone becomes part of the royal system. To them, the absence of proof was not reassurance. It was exposure. Vulnerability doesn't always arrive with evidence. Sometimes it arrives with implication. The tension intensified when another document surfaced. A diplomatic cable, marked confidential, referencing Saudi sensitivities around unnamed Western figures trading on implied proximity to Gulf leadership. Again, no accusations, just irritation. The cable originated from Riyadh. At that moment, the antagonist of the story became clear. It was not a person, it was narrative opportunism. The quiet inflation of status. The suggestion of access without accountability. The use of proximity, real or imagined, to shape perception. Saudi Arabia does not treat that lightly. No public statement followed. None was expected. But sources later claimed that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had expressed private displeasure at seeing Saudi elite circles casually absorbed into Western celebrity myth-making. The issue, they said, was not personal. It was symbolic. The implication of favor where none had been granted. Back in London, palace officials faced an increasingly delicate choice. Push further and risk diplomatic discomfort, or seal the file and accept lingering uncertainty. Because in institutions built on legacy, reputation is not only about truth, it is about what cannot be disproven. And once a narrative exists, even quietly, it leaves a residue. Not loud enough to confront, not clear enough to dismiss, just present enough to match. And so the story never officially ended. It simply faded into the background, filed away, remembered, and quietly weighed in rooms where decisions are made without witnesses. Because some stories are never meant to be spoken aloud. They are meant to be understood.